Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure to like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So meanwhile, I'm working on my Kenosha trial documentary. I wanted to bring you guys a video today to tie you guys over because I don't know when that's going to be released. I'll be editing it later today. But we do know one thing that's going on in our country right now that's very important as well, and it is inflation. And we know this. And it is apathy when it comes to the employment sector. And it is the fact that Joe Biden is a lame duck president, and he will be a lame duck president throughout the rest of his presidency. He's not getting anything done of note. We know that. He's essentially a figurehead at this point for the regime. And our country is spiraling out of control. Now, the good news is Republicans are likely to win big next fall no matter what happens because this is not going to change anytime soon. And Biden is not going to be the favorite in 2024. Donald Trump will likely run. If he does, he will steamroll Joe Biden. He will steamroll Kamala Harris even worse than he would steamroll Joe Biden. And we see this as Americans are quitting their jobs at a record pace for the second month in a row. You see 4.4 million people, 3% of the nation's workforce, quit their jobs this month. It is insane. Worker confidence, consumer confidence is dipping. We saw it very high under Donald Trump. We are seeing it very low under Joe Biden as we speak. And we now have a Johns Hopkins University professor that came out and said that this inflation problem is going to last until 2024. When this was on CNN, this is not some guy that was handpicked for some right-wing podcast or something. This is a professor who is a part of the system, you could say, right? And he says that the inflation problem is going to last at least until 2024. You have Janet Yellen, even all of these neoliberal globalists that are a part of, whether it's the Biden administration or Congress, that are on the Democrat side that are saying that this inflation problem is going to last and it's not going away. And we see this here, and this guy even says that the reconciliation bill is not going to help fight inflation, and we're still going to have a very big problem that will last at least until 2024. So the economy is not coming back anytime soon, and I don't say this with pride. I don't like the fact that gas is out of control. I don't like the fact that food prices are like doubling in many cases. I mean, the price for a steak at the grocery store is essentially doubled, and it's ridiculous what we're seeing here today. Inflation is through the roof, and we know this, and it's not going to help Biden. This is the one issue that affects everybody. I mean, this is not inflation for private jets. This is inflation for everyday items that people have to buy from the store. I mean, essentially, people are being driven further and further into poverty in many cases, especially if your income stream is not going to keep up with the inflation, which for many people it's not. And we know this, and we see this. And it's not just gas prices. It's pretty much everything. Gas prices are huge. They're a huge part of it. But you look at this and you see that consumer prices jumped 6.2% in October. And the largest surge of this was in Middle America. The coast saw a surge, but the surge in Middle America was 7% plus. The coast only saw like a 5% surge. So this is mainly affecting Trump's base, the Republican Party, first and foremost, the people that typically vote for Republicans. And then you look and you see that Republicans are voting for this bill, 13 Republicans voting for this bill, which was 89% not infrastructure. It shows who they're working for, and it's not the American people, but you see energy, shelter, and vehicle costs leading the gains, as we see here. And fuel prices soared by 12.3%, a 59.1% increase over the past year. So since Donald Trump left office, we are seeing fuel prices almost double within less than a year. It is insane. Energy prices are up significantly, 30% for energy prices. Your bill, obviously, your gas bill, whatever you have to pay to keep the lights on, it's going up a little bit. And this is not normal. This is not good. If you were paying $100 before, you're paying $130 now. Used vehicle prices, 2.5% this month, 26.4% for the year. So if you were going to buy a car that was, let's say, $20,000, a used car that costs that much, now you're going to have to pay $25,000, $26,000, right? And new vehicle prices are up significantly as well. Food prices, we know food prices were a large problem. Meat, poultry, and fish up 12%. I think it might even be higher than that. It might depend on the locality, obviously, but just from what I'm seeing on the ground, it's a little bit higher than that here. And we know this. So you get rid of Donald Trump. You have mean tweet man, whatever you want to call him, and you replace him with Joe Biden, who serves the interests of the regime at hand. And not only that, is very incompetent. You look at these spending bills and what they're doing. Now, if Trump got reelected, he probably would have passed a spending bill. We would have probably seen inflation at a much lesser scale than we're seeing it now. But with what we see the stimulus doing, incentivizing people not to work, more inflation, shutting down some of the pipelines, and that's arguably part of the reason why the gas prices are so high, not really the best look on Biden. It's hurting him, obviously, because this hurts everybody. This just doesn't hurt Republicans or Democrats or whoever when you're talking from an electoral politics perspective. Those swing voters are not happy. Now, I have expressed my doubts with civics in the past when it comes to measuring approval rating, but they were pretty dead on in terms of the exit polls and what we saw in Virginia and New Jersey. And I'm not going to say that civics is 100% accurate or that we have to take civics at face value, because we absolutely don't. But I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the fact that Biden is above water on this map, which has 125,000 responses in just 4 states. I mean, even apply a ridiculous margin of error to that. The guy's underwater in Oregon. He's underwater in Washington, which I honestly might believe that given the amount of far-left people that live there. They might not vote for a Republican under any circumstances. But are they going to be energized to support Joe Biden in the 2022 midterms? Absolutely not. I mean, Delaware is underwater by 18. I don't know if that's entirely true, but like I said, a lot of people voted for Biden because, oh, he's not Trump. Doesn't mean they're going to vote for him again, even if Trump is up there, given how bad of a job he's done. I mean, it's ridiculous what we're seeing on the ground here, especially in middle America, the Midwest being hit particularly hard as well. The coast, not entirely as much, but they kind of had inflation problems beforehand, so it just adds on. It's icing on the cake of stupidity. It's icing on the cake of destruction, you could say. And this is just a massive failure on the part of Joe Biden. I mean, you see Virginia flipping, you see New Jersey almost flipping. I think you look at a place like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. The midterms are going to be awful. Now, some people are even saying Minnesota's governorship might flip. I don't know if I'd go that far yet, because we know how the Minnesota voters are. They're just ridiculously, I guess you would say, weird. I mean, given their past history, and they were pretty immune from the midterm waves in the 2010s as well. So keep that in mind, but still with what we're seeing here, I wouldn't rule anything out for the midterms. I mean, you might see some drastic surprises, some drastic shifts. I mean, could Republicans get a seat in Connecticut at this point? I mean, given the shift in the environment, it's possible that Connecticut 5 finally, the white whale comes home. But this is just a massive, massive disaster for Joe Biden, an embarrassment of a presidency all around. What has he done good is the question. What has he done good? Nobody can point to that. I mean, you could say, oh, well, he's not Blumph or whatever, but he hasn't done anything good. He hasn't done anything, period. I mean, he signed that one bill, but we're reaping the negatives from that bill. It's likely that if Trump was in office now, he would have signed a scaled back version of that bill that probably wouldn't have caused this massive inflation that we're seeing now. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, what else has he done that's good? I mean, allocated 11% of a 1.5 plus trillion spending bill to actual infrastructure. Again, probably would have got a better infrastructure bill under Donald Trump. He was, going to do one before COVID hit, obviously. So Biden is a lame duck. He's not going to be able to do anything else from this point forward. He has Manchin and Sinema blocking his agenda, which really showcases how unpopular Biden is in a place like Arizona, for example. And all around, just looking at this map, looking at where the key races are going to be in 2022, this is an awful look for Joe Biden all around. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.